Hello and welcome to the Anxious Knitter podcast. My name is Joy and I'm the Anxious Knitter. I'm so anxious that every time a time-sensitive task comes up, I walk this double-edged sword where on one hand I procrastinate because I'm afraid of doing the thing wrong and getting in trouble, but then I leave it so long that I only have like 5 seconds to do the thing, and then I'm panicking because of that. Get it together, brain! I think that means that I need better time management skills, but who's got the time, right? Anyway, you are here for episode 19. Like I said, my name is Joy, and I'm coming to you from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, where I live with my husband Luke and our dog Opie. This is a podcast mostly about knitting, but occasionally about crochet, sewing, spinning, and whatever other crafty thing catches my fancy at the moment. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. That means a lot to me. I love knowing that you guys like coming here and spending a bit of time with me. And if you're brand new, just stumbling on my little corner of the internet for the first time, welcome. And I'm very happy you're here, and I hope you find something that you like. And if you don't, that's cool. You'll find your thing. Anyway, yeah. How are you guys? I'm doing alright. I'm doing pretty good, actually. Although I feel kind of weird. I took my glasses off today because the glare was bugging me for whatever reason. But now I'm sort of like wondering if my depth perception is going to be weird. I don't know. We'll see. I have them right here if I have to put them back on. But anyway, yeah. So, I've had a really productive week. I'm feeling pretty good. What I'm not feeling good about is this lighting, which I've been struggling with for the last half hour. I was trying to like get a lamp in here. I can't. It's so weird because it's summer and it's bright and it should be great lighting, coming at me, natural daylight. But there's a gigantic tree in front of our apartment and it blocks a lot of light. So that's annoying. Yeah, I've been like kind of like crazy productive just in like the generalness of my life because I finished my theater job, which I talked about last week, and I sent I don't want to call it a resignation email, it's not technically that, but let's call it that for the sake of simplicity. I sent off my resignation email to the board, and now I'm just waiting for a response, which I'm trying not to think about because makes my chest hurt. So I've been keeping very busy. I don't know if you can really tell, but I have been reorganizing my office. I got a new chair, which I really am excited about, and just been moving my stuff around to see if it works better. And yeah, the problem with my office was that it was starting to become a place that I didn't want to work in, and that defeats the purpose of having an office. So I'm reorganizing it so that I may want to work in here during Camp NaNoWriMo, which I'm very excited about and I'm gearing up for. And a few of you have told me that you are thinking about doing it too, and I'm very excited about that, so definitely like keep me updated on your progress, like on Ravelry, on Instagram, or whatever. In the comments here, wherever you want, whatever's easiest for you. But I want to know because I love it. And actually, if you are on NaNoWriMo and you want to add me as a writing buddy, just real quick before I get into, the nitty gritty, my username is joy.g, which is like the least creative thing I could have thought of. I don't know what I was thinking, but there it is, joy.g. Find me on NaNoWriMo, add me up, it'll be great. Yeah, let's just jump in. Let's just do the thing. And let's start with our dweeb story of the week. Yeah, I have one. I was kind of devastated about it, but now I'm feeling okay. So, if you guys will recall, I showed those charms, the Polymer clay progress creepers. Progress keepers. I keep saying it. Progress keeper. Oh my god. Anyway, I showed you them, and I had not yet glazed them or put the things on, the clasps. So Luke brought home, and this is in no way Luke's fault. This is actually entirely my fault. Luke brought home some glaze that he got from his dad, and his dad had sent along turpentine. I was like, I don't need that, but okay, thank you. So I sat down, and I glazed all of the charms, save for one because I couldn't find it. I glazed them. I'm sitting there going, I need turpentine to clean the brushes, which means it's oil-based. Was it supposed to be oil-based varnish? So I looked it up, and no, it was not supposed to be oil-based varnish. It was supposed to be water-based varnish. So essentially what that means is I've rendered all of those charms unsellable. Because oil-based varnishes yellow over time, and I don't trust them not to eat away at the clay, and, yeah, I had a good cry about that. I felt so stupid. It was like I sat down, and something did not feel right, but I just went ahead and varnished every darn thing, and now they're useless. But I will show you, just so you can see how they look when they're finished, because obviously they haven't gone yellow right now, but, yeah, look how pretty that is, eh? Just, like, enriches, that's the word, enriches the color. And then here's, one of the blue mushrooms, the brass findings. So, I was really upset because obviously I'd spent hours and hours and hours sculpting these things, and then in like one fell swoop totally ruined them. So let that be a lesson, guys. Go with your gut. If your gut is telling you maybe you shouldn't use that and you should do your research again just to double check, you should do that. But anyway, I've been since then remaking charms, and it's fine, and I like the ones that I've made now even better. The eggs I really loved the way they were, but I was really upset about that because obviously, you know, I'd put in all that work, but c'est la vie, I guess. Guys, okay, it is really bothering me how dark this video is. I feel like I'm some creeper in the basement, like, hey guys, wanna talk about knitting? Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, that looks worse when I turn my light on. So, that was my dweeb story of the week. So, let's just get into the yarny portion of things, shall we? I don't want to wax on forever and ever and ever. Oh, and actually, before I do that, I'm kind of thinking, now that I'm on my summer schedule, tomorrow's my last day of my preschool job for the year. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Opie barking as per usual. I'm thinking about recording Wednesdays and uploading on Thursdays, just to like, because what I do is I record on Wednesday morning, I edit, and then I post it by the evening, and it's a very long YouTube-y day, and maybe it would be less pressure if I just recorded it on the Wednesday and posted it on the Thursday. Or I guess I could record it on the Tuesday and post it on the Wednesday and not really change anything technically. Who knows? We'll see. I'll figure it out. That's what it's a process, right? Anyway, let's talk about finished objects. I have a hoe today, and I'm very excited about it. I finished my first Hermione's Everyday Sock, which is a pattern by Erica Luder, and I flippin' love it. I love it. The yarn is Wild Happy Color and the Tuscany Afternoon colorway. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what Tuscany Afternoon. Yes. And this knit up like a dream. I know I talked about it last week too, but I just need to remind you because it is so pretty. And it fits perfectly. Out of all the socks that I've knit, I would say this one fits me the best. I figured it out, I think, guys. But yeah, so I did 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing on a 2.25 millimeter needle is what I knit the sock on. I did 18 repeats of the pattern, fish lips kiss heel, and then I knit about 6 inches of the foot, and then I did the wedge toe in the pattern instead of doing the rounded toe. And I'm kind of thinking I like the wedge toe better. I don't know if it's that it's just that little bit longer, that it just gives you that little bit of extra wiggle room, but in any case, I'm super happy about it. And I started the second one, and I'm telling you, man, if you haven't knit one of these like Hermione socks yet, you gotta, cause they fly. They really do. I enjoy them more than like vanilla, like in terms of speed. I would say I even knit them faster, but yeah. So I've done the cuff. I've done a couple, I think 3 repeats, maybe 3 or 4 repeats of the pattern. So as you can see, like that's basically like one sitting. I kid you not, man. It just flies. And I have to say, like, I don't think I split one stitch on that sock. And I don't think that's because of my skill as a knitter. I think that's just because of the quality of that yarn. It's just, man, it's a joy. It is a joy to work with. So I'm very excited to have this be a finished pair, and I'm also excited for it to be cool enough for me to wear them because I'm going to wear them all the time. Yeah. So that's my my half-finished object today, and that's really good. I thought I might have another finished object, but I didn't quite get there. Oh, no! I do have a finished object! Duh! Okay. Spinning. I have a spinning finished object. So some of you may have seen this already on Instagram, but if not, I'm going to talk about it now in a little more detail. Even if you have seen it, I'm going to talk about it in a little more detail. So, of course, I am co-hosting the Spin for All 2017, which is a drop spindle along, with Taylor of Wool Needles Hands and Katie of the Arrow Knits podcast, 2 amazing podcasters, lovely people. I just love them, okay? Knitting besties. That's not weird. Yeah, so anyway, I finished my first spin on my drop spindle. And here it is, all skeined up. Okay, I'm gonna tell you things. So this is 100% Corriedale. It ended up being like 40-ish grams. I'm not sure how the math and the the science of spinning works, so I don't understand it all, but I don't really care at this point. It's just fun. And I will say it is I still think it's ugly. I have no intentions of knitting this. It'll probably go in a bowl, or if I do knit it into anything, it'll just be like a swatch that I'll frame. It's probably, I would say, a chunky or a bulky type weight, at the very minimum an Aran, but there's not a whole lot of it, and these are not colors that I love now that they're spun. But let me tell you something, okay? If you have been feeling like discouraged because you've not spun before, or you're just, it doesn't feel like it's coming naturally to you, I get it, okay? Because this is all levels of thick and thin going through there. And it's so uneven, and the plying, I'm sure, is uneven because I'd never plied anything before. But persevere, okay? And this is exactly why I bought a $9 bag of fiber instead of going and buying a beautiful braid to start with, is because I wanted low pressure, right, to spin it. And if it turned out terrible, I didn't want to have spent $30+ and then hate it and then feel like I wasted my time or my money, right? what this taught me is that, one, yes, I love spinning. Two, it is worth it to get through all of the mishaps and the thick and thin parts and all of that to see it skeined up, because it really does feel like an accomplishment one way or another. So I would say keep going, okay? Just keep going and finish it and know that you still made something. And, I mean, in all fairness, there's a lot of thick and thin hand spun out there that people, like, actually use for stuff. I mean, you can use it for weaving if you're not going to knit or crochet with it. Or just to have, like what I'm doing. But, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I don't have a nitty naughty or anything. I'm not even entirely sure how those work. But what I did do is, once I had finished plying it, I wrapped it around Luke's big, like, acrylic sewing ruler and, like, tied it off like a skein. And then I soaked it while it was still on the ruler. Actually, I didn't take it off the ruler. I soaked it while it was on the ruler for, like, half an hour in warm water in my bathtub with some soak. And then I hung it out to dry on my balcony on our ironing board. I just kind of draped it over it with a little coat hanger, just to weight it down a little bit. And, yeah, it really kind of balanced it out, and it now looks like real yarn. So that's cool. I was excited about that. And actually, it's funny because the colors are sort of similar here, but obviously this is much more beautiful than what this monstrosity of harvested troll hair has become. But there you go. So, there's still time to join the spin for all. If you haven't started, if you've been sort of hemming and hawing about it, it goes till August 1st. So go get in there, get spinning. Because it's a lot of fun. Even if you're, struggling, I think it still can be fun. I mean, I had some moments of real frustration while I was spinning that, but worth it. Yeah, so that's it for finished objects. I'm going to turn the sound on my phone off. Let's move right along to works in progress. Okay, I only have a couple to show you because, again, I didn't work on a couple of them. I was busy doing other things like moving all the furniture in my office and remaking polymer clay charms and going to IKEA with my parents for Father's Day. Because I live there. I live at IKEA. I feel like without my glasses on, you can really see the, like, bags under my eyes, which I don't mind. I'm, like, coming to terms with those. They're just part of my face. Anyway, that's off topic. I'm going to start with my Linus shawl, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by, I believe, Annette Cordes. Cordes? I don't know how to pronounce it, but her name is obviously at the bottom of the screen. And I am knitting it with my Blue Brick Yarns gradient in the Heron colorway. And now you can see that the gradient has begun. Because last time it was just a little, like, it was just the gray at the end here. But now you can see it's starting to change into the blue. And okay, let me tell you a thing about this gradient. It is so subtle. It's so subtle. Like, for a while, I didn't even realize that it was changing color. I was like, man, when is this thing gonna change color? And then I, like, flipped the corner up, and I was like, oh, it has changed color. That's amazing. So yeah, it started to get into the blue. It's still, like, tinted with gray. So here you can see the kind of soggy looking cake, but you can see how the color is going to get nice and bright. And it's a 150 gram skein, so I mean, I've got quite a bit of yardage here, like over 500 yards, and I think this is going to be quite large, and it is really exactly what I wanted for this yarn, which, sorry if you can hear my stuff tapping, but just, I wanted something so simple that would still showcase the gradient, but I could wear without fuss or muss. And I think it's going to be exactly that, so I'm very excited about it. It's been great car knitting. It's been essentially all I've been knitting on in the car, because I did have, obviously we were driving to IKEA, which is about 45 minutes there and back. So I had a bit of time, and it's great for bringing with me places, because it's just garter stitch. Super simple garter stitch, 2-row repeat, and I think it's going to look great. I thought about doing the hitchhiker shawl, but in the end, the Linus was free, and I liked it, so I am really happy with that. And the gradient is beautiful. It's on their Killarney sock base. What's really cool with Blue Brick Yarns is that they do have their gradients on various bases, but they also do a sock set. So you'll get your 100 grams or whatever, but they'll have already separated the gradient for you, so you will have 2 completely identical socks, which I think is just really nice of them to do. And so if you're interested, go check them out. They're really cool. Blue Brick Yarns. They're Canadian. And that was the Heron colorway. I think I said that already. But anyway. My other work in progress, well, I showed you the socks, so I'm going to show you what else I've been spinning. So last Wednesday, after I finished recording, I went and met my friend Hannah, who is amazing, at Shawl, which is our local yarn shop, and I was looking for some fiber. She was looking for something for some of her crochet project, and we also ended up going to the Creepy Craft store. But anyway, that's off topic. So I ended up, okay, I'm going to tell a little story. So I was up there, we were looking at all of the fiber. They had beautiful braids of all sorts of different fiber types, and I wasn't really sure what to pick, because obviously I'm not a very experienced knitter, and like you hear all sorts of conflicting things about which is the best fiber to use and whatever. So we spent like 20 minutes at least up there looking at things, and the best part was Hannah would like come up with a complete backstory for all the colorways, and they were really elaborate and really funny, and so it was really good. But I ended up going downstairs and asking the lady who owns the shop what she would suggest for someone who's fairly new. And she said what she had learned from the lady who teaches the spinning classes at the local yarn shop was that it's less about the actual sheep it came from or animal it came from, and more about the quality of the fiber. Because if you're spinning with bad quality fiber, no matter what breed it is, it's going to give you trouble. But if you invest in like a nice wool, you're going to have a good spin, which I thought was really interesting, and it took a lot of pressure off. So when I ended up going back upstairs, and I picked this beautiful braid, 6 ounces, by Briar Rose, and I've knit with Briar Rose yarns before, and it's gorgeous. But this is what's left of my braid. As you can see, I have spun quite a bit, but it's this beautiful forest green with like just hints of bluiness in there, and some little sort of undyed spots that they look really nice once they've spun. But yes, so it's 100% BFL, which I've of course never spun, and I was very excited about it. And let me tell you, this fiber is like butter. I just dropped some on the floor because I've been splitting it up ahead of time into small portions. It is like a dream. I have been obsessively knitting it. I've actually had to slow myself down because I'm like, I'm going to be done again in like a week if I don't chill on the spinning, and then I'm gonna have to go out and buy more, and Luke will be mad at me. So I love it so much, and no regrets there. So that's the fiber, and I'm housing it in my lichen and lace tote bag that I got from the Knitter's Frolic. Oh, hold on, it's all tangled up. No, oh my word, Joy, get it together. There we go. Lichen and lace. So I have been spinning up a storm, and so far, well, Luke just texted me asking if I've done the podcast. Doing it, Luke. Oh my gosh, stop nagging me, rude. Just kidding. So I have already spun 80 to 85 grams, so about half. Oh my god. I love it. Sorry, that was weird. It was so satisfying winding this off. So what I did is I spun about 50 grams and then I wound it off, and then I spun the last like 30 some odd grams, and then I spit spliced the two ends together and then just wound off the rest. So yeah, I've already done half of the spin for the singles. Part of me almost wants to keep them as singles, but I also feel like I want the strength of the ply just because I'm not like a super adept spinner yet. But it's so soft, and it's like actually like hefty. It's like almost like a full skein in weight. Yeah, and so I've started the second single, and this, I still definitely have points where it's uneven or like it poofs out, and I think for me that usually happens when I've like wound it around the shaft, and then I'm coming up to start spinning again, and I don't pre-draft. Like I have to pre-draft that first little bit of fiber, otherwise just because you get that like the overspin or the too much spin in that first little spin on the. I'm not really good at talking about this, but it makes it harder to draft it out. For me, I don't know, I'm probably doing something wrong. But if I pre-draft it a little bit, then I don't have that problem as much. But definitely every time I pick this up, I get better and better, and I learn something new, and yeah, it's great. And if you don't know, because you haven't watched it yet, I'm using a spindle that is, I bought in 1998, so almost 20 years ago. I was 8 years old. I was from the Black Creek Pioneer Village in Toronto. I bought this in a bag of fleece. Did not know how to use it, obviously, because I was 8. But the funny thing I was saying to my dad is that this spindle has followed me around for like those 20 years in random places, in random drawers, and I've always thought maybe I should just get rid of this thing. I'm never going to use it. But I could never bring myself to do it because it just, it was handmade. I have good memories of buying this and being at Black Creek Pioneer Village with my mom, and I'm a very sentimental person that way. I get attached to objects, like very attached to objects, and I could never bring myself to do it. And now I'm glad I didn't, because now I'm finally putting it to use. I mean, I spun like a whole skein of yarn, like on this thing that has been literally obsolete in my life for so many years. So I just think that's really cool. It feels like destiny or something. But I've been really enjoying the spin. I think that's it for works in progress. Again, I haven't worked on my sizzle pop. It's not. I think after this weekend, I will probably be in a better space. Like right now, I'm just getting my life ready for Camp NaNoWriMo, and I'm just trying to avoid conflicting feelings in my brain. And I think once everything has been worked out with my job, then I'll be in a better space for working on that. But it'll come, and then I'm going to finish those Devil Snare socks. I swear, okay? Because I want that other sock. I want the pair. They're so cute. Anyway, so that's it for works in progress. That's it for finished objects. That's all my spinning. Let's talk about... I don't remember what I do for this. Okay, I'm going to do this. Stuff I bought for knitting. Yay! Okay, so I hinted at this thing last week, and it arrived yesterday. I was so excited about it. I ran up the stairs, which is a feat, I should say, because it's a lot of stairs. But I have my first skein of Fiber for the People. Yes, I do. And if you do not know, because I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't, you should. So I'm going to tell you. This is Taylor's Yarn Company, Taylor of Wool Needles Hands. And she started her new yarn business, and her yarn is gorgeous. And I ordered this one, which is the Seagull colorway. It is 100% superwash, extra fine merino singles, and it is 437 yards, and it's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous and so soft, and I'm so excited about it. And let me tell you a little story about this particular skein of yarn. So I've obviously been following the Fiber for the People journey on Instagram because, like, honestly, why wouldn't I? And she has so many pretty colorways, and I was like, oh, like, I'm always going to buy one. You know, I want to support my friend, and I kept going back and forth, and I would, like, literally be like, okay, Luke, do you like this one better, or do you like this one better? Do you like this one better, or do you like this one better? Okay, but what about this one? And then in the end, I kept coming back to this one, which is mostly because I love gray and yellow. They were my wedding colors. I always go back to gray and yellow. Love it. So I decided I wanted this, and I decided I wanted it on singles. But when the oh my gosh, what's the launch date came, I was still waiting on a paycheck. So I was like, like, I had to wait, and then you know, I'm watching all the things, like, over the next couple days, like, going sold out. But this single skein of Seagull on singles remained in the shop for me. I'm sure of it. It felt like fate. Okay, my life has been destiny lately. But I just thought it was so funny because I was like, oh no, I don't want it to sell out, and then I have to wait for the next round, and, like, I want it now. So it was just funny that it was, like, literally just one skein of Seagull and singles sitting in the shop waiting for me. And so I'm debating what I'm going to do with it, because I'm one of those people that, like, I don't really like to have yarn just sitting around in my stash. I like to know generally what I'm going to do with it. So I am for sure going to combine it with this skein of lichen and lace in Silver Fox, which is also singles. So possibly a 2-color shawl for these two. This poor skein of lichen and lace I had bought from my exploration station, and then it just, like, kept getting bumped out of the color palettes, and then I was like, oh man, what am I going to do with it? It's so pretty. But now I know it's going to go with this. But I'm also kind of thinking of putting it with this as well, which is Fuse Fiber Studio in the Map of the World colorway, and it's a 75/25 BFL nylon. So, I mean, it's obviously not a singles, but I really don't think that's going to matter. I've combined bases before, but the shawl I wanted to do, let me just call it up because I want to say the name. It's currently free on Ravelry. And it's kind of like a Find Your Fade in terms of, oh my goodness. In terms of the, oh my goodness. I hate doing things on cell phones. It's called the Macariri Shawl by Françoise Denoy. And so it's sort of constructed like a fade without the actual element of a fade. Like, it's not fading, it's just the shape of it is similar. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to see if I can just put the picture on my phone and then hold it up to the screen. It's probably not going to work. Okay. There, yeah, you can see that. Yeah, so you can see it's got the, the chevrons, and so that's currently what I'm kind of toying with. I like that this is, you got these two that are totally, the grays and the golds, but then this has the gold, but it also introduces a few more colors. So I'm thinking about that. Let me know what you think. Do you think those three would look nice together? Or do you think I should just do these two as something? Give me your opinions. I have a few other shawls obviously planned before I get to that one, but I like to be thinking of these things. Yes, so that was all that I bought for knitting. I'm gonna be ordering my my undyed yarn and my acid dyes very soon. So hopefully I'll have something to show you fairly soon with that. Was there anything else? Stuff I bought for knitting? Nope, I think that was it. So yeah, I really liked that. And actually my head is starting to hurt from not having my glasses on. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up and deal with the glare. Okay, it's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, so that is everything that is knitting related. So if that's all you came for, actually, no. I take that back. Don't leave yet. Let me quickly do an announcement segment. So get ready, because it's time for Hear Ye, Hear Ye. I just wanted to remind everybody that there is a giveaway going on right now in the Ravelry group, and of course I will link that in the description box below. I'm just going to get the dates up so I don't say the wrong thing. Oh, there's a Get Nosy question in here. I will get to that after. So the giveaway is for a beautiful skein of yarn. Let me get it out really quick. I just kicked my printer. It's okay. It's okay. So it's the prize is this skein of yarn with this little stitch marker, a very cute stitch marker by The Loving Path, which is a very, very beautiful dyer and human being. And that giveaway is simply to celebrate the end of my theater season and the beginning of new things. And that will go up, that will end, it will close on June 27th at around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the winner will be announced on the next episode. So I've given you guys lots of time to enter. And I've been really enjoying reading your answers to the prompt, which is to tell me about your favorite theater experience, whether as a performer or as an audience member. And yes, I allow concerts, and people have mentioned operas and ballets, and all of that counts. If you sat in a theater for a live performance, it counts. Okay? Yeah, so get on in there and tell me about your theater experiences. And I wanted to say, okay, let me look. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So how about this? Why don't we start the Stephen West along, which I was going to call it something. I was like, that's clever, Joy. Did I write it down? No, I didn't. What was it? I don't know. We'll just call it a West Knits Along for now, or the West Along. But that will start, I'm thinking, give me your opinion, on Saturday, July 15th. And do you guys prefer like a month-long or 2-month-long shawl, like shawl/garment knitting? Because I don't mind either way. But like, let me know what you prefer, and then I will weigh the answers and decide. But I'm thinking July 15th, halfway through the month, just because the beginning of July is going to be a little nutty for me, and I'd like to get a little more progress on my Sizzle Pop before I cast on another shawl, especially because I have 2 already on the needles. But anyway, that's just me. But I'm thinking July 15th and the brioche along as well. So that's the sort of casual chatter thread knit along. So I'll probably start those on the same day. So I would put up the chatter threads then. And I will allow works in progress as long as they're not more than 50% of the way done. But I feel like 50% is pretty reasonable because a lot of Stephen West patterns are really big. Like, they use a lot of yarn, so it's not like you will be done in 2 days. I mean, maybe you will. Maybe you're like super speedy. I don't know. Why I pretended to be so defensive about it. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And And I'm very excited about that. I'm like so ready to cast on my exploration station, but like I just need to not be casting on things. I need to finish a few things first. But I'm pretty sure the Linus Shawl will be done pretty quickly. Anyway, so again, give me your opinion on a 1 month or 2 month long for the West Knits Along. I think for the Brioche Along, just 1 month will be fine since it's not a complete a project kind of giveaway knit along. So that one will probably go July 15th to August 15th. Okay, so full disclosure, I am recording this segment like an hour after I finished recording the actual podcast because I realized I forgot to do the get nosy question that I mentioned was here. So I'm going to do that now, and hopefully it's not too awkward. So, oh man. Anyway, it's time to get nosy. Oh, I did that with opposite hands this time. Weird. Anyway, the question comes from Alyssa, who is Mrs. Comet Hunter on Ravelry. She says, "Hi, Joy. I have a couple questions." Smiley face. Have you met Debbie of the Loving Path in person? She's the one who suggested your podcast to me. I feel like you'd be BFFs. I'm in London, Ontario like her, so we should totally do a Southwestern Ontario knit meetup. Anyone else? Okay, no, I have not met Debbie in person, but we have talked about grabbing a coffee this summer. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's have a knitting meetup. I would be so down with that. Yeah, I love that idea. So, yeah, hit me up, man. Let's plan something. I'm all about that coffee and knitting. My second question is, where did you get the star scarf in episode 17, or did you make it? I'm obsessed with everything and anything space related. Unfortunately, I did thrift that from Valley Village. I feel like it may have been an Ardennes scarf. Maybe I cut the tags off because I'm a loser like that. So I'm sorry that I can't be more helpful. I really like it though. They had another one there. I think it was white with silver stars. It was the same scarf, but it was just not black. But yeah, I know, it's really pretty. And space stuff is pretty cool. I have another. Sorry, things come to me in bursts. No problem. I think you mentioned doing more yarn dyeing in your earlier podcasts. Have you been doing any lately? I want to give it a go. Lots of ideas for colorways, but not sure about actually being able to pull them off. Love your podcast. I'm an anxious person too, so it's nice to know I'm not alone. Okay, so I think I did kind of answer that, where I'm getting all my yarn dyeing stuff soon. So I haven't actually done any. Hopefully I don't totally suck at it. But I feel like what my plan is I have 2 skeins reserved that I'm going to split up into 10 gram minis, and I'm just going to experiment with dyeing techniques on those first, and with colorway ideas that I have too, so that I can kind of get a sense of what works and what doesn't before I, commit to dyeing a whole skein. But yeah, you should give it a go. I mean, I feel like the worst that can happen is that it's just not exactly what you envision, but unless, it all turns mucky brown, which I don't think it would, unless you, really just, I don't know. I don't even know, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how that would happen, but, because obviously I've never done it, but, for me, it's I'm trying to keep some of the pressure off myself, and that I have ideas for colorways, but I'm not marrying myself. I say that phrase a lot, but anyway, I'm not committing myself to the idea that's the picture that's in my head, and I'm just kind of because you never know, you might come up with something that's going to look fantastic. It may not be exactly what you were planning, but it may still be beautiful and representative of the thing that you're emulating, if that's what you're doing or whatever. So I will have obviously more information about that once I get started. But yeah, seriously, I'm so down with a knitting meetup. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, so that's the end of that weirdly inserted segment. All right, back to past me. So for real, I think that's it for knitting related stuff. So if that's all you came for, that's cool. I will see you next week. It was nice to see ya. Nice to chat with ya. And if not, stick around for the last segment, which is, of course, my life, etc. Maybe I should write a jingle. Maybe I should never do that. I think that would be a mistake. Just a couple things to talk about today. First of all, I just gotta say now, I went to see Wonder Woman last night. It was so good. Now, I am not a huge fan of DC movies. I will be upfront. I'm very much a Marvel girl. I had no interest in seeing Batman vs. Superman, and Man of Steel was like, okay. And the Batman movies were like, okay. The original Batman movies, I like the Tim Burton ones with like the original Penguin. Gotham, I didn't really care for the show. I really wanted to, but didn't. But I'd heard a lot of good things about Wonder Woman, and the trailer looked awesome. So I went and with Luke, and it was so good. This might be for like hormonal reasons, but there were points in that movie where I was literally like, tearing up because it was so powerful or so cool. Like, the fighting was so cool. I love anything set in World War I or World War II, American Civil War. I love that kind of stuff. I love war movies, and I love comic book characters in war settings. I don't know why. It just gets me. It's like everything I love put into one thing. But, yeah, it was just really good. The only thing I didn't care for was the big reveal of the villain, which I won't spoiler it at all, but it was almost the exact same feeling I had with Fantastic Beasts, where it was so perfect right up until that moment, and you're like, why would you do that? What would compel you to make that choice? Why, when the writing has been literally flawless up until this moment, and the casting has been flawless up until this moment? I don't know, man. It baffled me. I was so angry. But it did not ruin the movie for me. I will watch Wonder Woman again. Yeah, so that was really kind of the big thing. Again, I went back to IKEA to buy some more furniture. I bought that white cupboard to store all my craft supplies, because the one I had was literally just garbage. It was falling apart. It was the worst. And I got some other small stuff. And I got my new chair. Here, look, I'll show it to you. Look, it's mint green, like my office. You can barely tell because this lighting is so crappy. Okay. You know, usually I feel like I get away with the webcam thing because it doesn't really look like a webcam because my, lighting is alright. This is not one of those times. Also, my lipstick is coming off from talking. Anyway, not the point. I watched a couple of Netflix shows, too, which I was like, about. I've been, really into crime dramas. Well, I've always loved crime dramas anyway, like Broadchurch and Luther and stuff like that. So there were a couple that I watched. One of them was Marcella. One of them was Paranoid. I was excited about them because, one, they're British, and I typically like British crime shows better than American ones. And I liked the actresses that were sort of the main characters. I thought it was really cool. There were 2 detective shows with female characters as the leads. They were okay. They were good enough that I kept watching to the end, and I wanted to know what happened, but they weren't rip your heart out good like Luther and Broadchurch were, but that's okay. They were entertaining, and that's all that matters. And yeah, other than that, I really just been doing a lot of work around here. I've been I did for Camp NaNoWriMo, I did a virtual write-in yesterday. They hosted one on the NaNoWriMo YouTube channel, and what was this? It looks like I have a secret to tell you. Anyway, they had a little virtual write-in, which was cute, and it was like the first time I'd sat down and actually written, like, just written fiction words in a long time. Well, since November. Because I had only been doing revisions, and that's not really the same thing. But I hadn't drafted anything in a long time. And so it was fun to just kind of sit down and do a couple prompts and that sort of thing. I think it's a really cool idea. I don't have a writing group in person, so it's nice to just sort of, even if I'm not participating in the chat part of it, it's just nice to watch other people talk. Is that weird? I don't know. But if you're curious, I am actually doing my NaNoWriMo freehand. I've done it freehand one other time, and I loved it. I bought this notebook especially for this novel. It's real leather. It's so soft. I wanted the book to match the project, like, and then the notebook to match the project, because I'm very much about the experience of writing a thing. Like, I like to use a certain pen or certain colors of pens, depending on the project, and, yeah, this has just got some lovely heft. Here, I can show you a little bit of the inside. But yeah, I love writing freehand. This was my attempt from NaNoWriMo in November, which I failed miserably at, but I'm writing the same story, so I'm obviously going to use the same notebook. So yeah, I love it. I just feel like there's something also really nice about the being able to literally just see the pages and your writing filling those pages. Things can get a little bit abstract on a computer. I like typing on the computer. I like transcribing my work, that sort of thing. But you kind of lose sight of actually how much you've accomplished. That's why I always say print out your work at the very least. And that's why I really want an electric typewriter. Because I have like a fully like vintage manual typewriter, but I really want an electric one because I think it'll marry everything that I love together in that, like, I get more of like the speed of typing because the keyboard is more like a computer keyboard, and I love like 90s, early 2000s keyboards, you know, that real good click, click, click. And, but you also get that instant gratification of seeing your pages stack up. So I'm still on the hunt for an electric typewriter. But yeah, so I'm very excited to kind of get back into the swing of that. But that's really kind of it in terms of my life. So, yeah, it was cool to talk to you today. And I have lots of plans for the rest of the day to get stuff done and read books and enjoy my life for once. That sounds terrible. But, like, actually, like, just sit down and enjoy living life with my dog. With, you know, the breeze coming in through the window. Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. If you would like to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on Ravelry as dabblejoy. And you can find me on Instagram, which is the only social media platform I'm actually active on, as Rhineland Story. Yes, so I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful weekend. I hope you work on things that make you happy and fulfill you. Yeah, I will see you next time. Happy knitting, happy living, over and out.